Introduction to Art Appreciation. Art appreciation is one of the most valuable learning skills to enhance and develop one's appreciation to the different fields of arts. Hence, its main goal is to appreciate art according to one's own understanding and performance, and to develop self-esteem and showing to the world the need and importance of art appreciation. Thus, the focal point of this course is for the student to critically internalize the purpose and meaning of art. Learning objectives: understand the definition of art. Art appreciation and humanities explore the importance and purpose of art, reflect their contributions to the development of art, integrate the value of art in their personal life experience through the different definitions and purposes of art. Inputs. What is art? Art appreciation and humanities. What comes into our minds if one asks about art? Throughout history, many artists and philosophers tried to define art. One would say that it is undefinable. Some would say, art is a way of life. Philosophically speaking, art is closely related to aesthetics. That is, the philosophy of art. Aesthetics are all about the nature and concept of art. How is art being interpreted and evaluated by an observer, and how do we perceive such art? Now, what is art appreciation? According to Areola, art refers to the knowledge's pursuit and understanding of universal and timeless qualities characterizing artwork. Meaning, the involvement of one's understanding toward a specific work of art is highly commendable. Art appreciation refers to the knowledge of the general and everlasting qualities that classify all great art. The use of art refers to the exploration of visual art forms or the introduction of basic principles of visual literacy. Art appreciation refers to analyzing the form of artwork to general audiences to enhance their enjoyment of such works of art. It may be analyzed without reference to the subject matter, symbolism, or historical context. Art appreciation can be subjective depending on personal preference to aesthetics and form. Or it can be based on several elements and principles of design, and also depends on social and cultural acceptance. Modern art critics and historians draw back from this term, underrating art appreciation as demanding too little serious thought. Art is derived from the Latin word ars, which means ability or skill. But, generally speaking, the term art comes from the Latin word arti, which means craftsmanship, inventiveness, mastery of form, and skill. That is why, art is very existential, precisely because there are associations that exist between the forms and ideas, between the materials and techniques. So the question is, are technologies be considered as form of arts? Of course. Precisely because, whatever technology we have at the present, are technological artifacts. We cannot have good music, literature, paintings, etc. without the use of technological artifacts as the medium of arts. Art is a product of man's need to express himself. In other words, an output that's shown publicly is a product of what has been made by an artist. One of the most prominent philosophers in the ancient philosophy, Plato. Art is that which brings life in harmony with the beauty of the world. To explain further, we can see the beauty of the world if one knows how to distinguish nature and man-made. art can change one attitude, behavior, and action precisely because, for example, sound of music. It affects our psychological inner self or the different perspective of the self. That is why John Dewey states that art is an attitude of spirit, a state of mind. But the very reason why it is being pursued to be studied in school or any academic learning mode, because art appreciation is centered on the ability to view art throughout history, focusing on the cultures and the people, and how art developed in the specific periods. You cannot understand art without understanding the culture, their use of materials and sense of beauty. In other words, it is essential to understand culture, precisely because it depicts various arts that somehow the very source of one culture history. Thus, no individual is born without any desire for arts. Whatever one sees, both natural and man-made, artifacts are the reason why one has the desire to examine, develop, and discover things in such a way to attain perfection. One of the concrete examples on this is the Archie fossil. Now, what is the difference between art appreciation and humanities? Hence, humanities is something about learning art specifically on architecture, dance, literature, music, painting, theater, and sculpture. At this point, we can already realize that art appreciation is not only the beginning of skills, but the only proof that an individual exists, precisely because we are humans, we are creative humans, and educated. As an individual develops his or her creativity, the main purpose of living is to learn and discover new things. Thus, humanities is to be human. Humanities are branches of knowledge that the focus is on the different human opinions and its relationships. In other words, history, between past and present, proves that development things keep on changing toward perfection. For example, technology. The use of fabric into paper, typewriters developed into computers, telegrams to Android phones, etc. Basically, all come from the different human opinions. Again, humanities is to be a human. Therefore, art appreciation, by definition, concerns beauty. Beauty does not concern with what is pleasing to human senses, but has something to do with our critical understanding and analysis of the realities that exist in the present, existed from the past, and will exist in the future. Futuristic arts. In other words, futuristic art is predictable due to history and the present need situation.